Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we have a match between Tarik Hopstock and Tainan Dalpra. This was on the Polaris card that happened not too long ago. I forget what number it was, but we're going to break this down now. So we have Tarik in the white, Dalpra in the black gi here. So they're immediately going to start filling each other out, trying to establish dominant grips. You can see that Dalpra is taking a low stance. Tarik is also taking a low stance. Dalpra tries to hit a little foot sweep there to see what he can get, and Tarik is going to start circling, and then he's going to end up pulling guard into kind of a keymaster K-guard position. But watch Dalpra's ability to kind of stop this and start his passing. So this is kind of not the best angle, but we can still work here. You can kind of see that Tarik is using his 4 points of contact here. You can't see his other leg, but it's floating around down there. And what he's trying to do is make sure that Dalpra cannot pass the position, which is going to be pretty hard to do because this is Tainan Dalpra at the end of the day. And you see that Dalpra is immediately starting to pass into a north-south position using heavy pressure and making sure that Tarik, sorry, they both start with T's, Tarik is going to be in a bad position. So right here, you can kind of see that Tarik is now pretty much compromised in his guard. He's now playing a half guard position. His body is facing this way. He's only has, sorry, let's get this off the screen. He only has Dalpra's ankle here, but his body is facing the wrong way, and he's on his side, which is okay, but he's not posted up on an elbow. He's like flat on his side here. Dalpra's taking his left hand and he's gonna hug it around the back of Tarik to put a lot of pressure into this position here. And you can see that he's putting a ton of cross-face pressure here with his right arm here. It's basically grabbing right here on the back of the lapel, and he's driving his shoulder into the face of Tarik, which is kind of going to set him up for failure in terms of playing this half guard. This is not the type of half guard you want to play. Like, his head is out of position. Dalpra is encroaching, putting tons of pressure this way, just straight downward pressure into this position, which is going to make it very hard for Tarik to establish a dominant type of half guard position. And again, this is the type of guard passing that I love to do, where I have the person flattened out. Let's go ahead and pause it once again. So this is exactly how I love to pass half guard. I force people to play half guard and get them into this position here. You can see that Tarik's, like I said, Tarik's body is facing this way. His lower body is facing this way, but his upper body is kind of trapped and pinned here. And now Dalpra, all he really has to do is he's sitting to his, what would that be? That is his right hip. And all he has to do is use this hand to kind of pull his leg out and free it to this angle over here. Once he does that, he's pretty much past the guard and in a dominant position because he's controlling the upper body of Tarik. So right here, he frees his leg and immediately gets into a north-south position, passes back over into side control, and now you can see that now it's just going to be a passing clinic. So now that Dalpra has passed into the position that he wants, he hops up into the knee on belly. Once again, like I said, this is how I love to play my side control and passing game. So once I pass, I score the 3 points, and then it's easy. This is the easiest 2 points in jiu-jitsu. Hopping up into a knee on belly position. You see how Dalpra didn't pop all the way up? He didn't go straight up and give Tarik any type of opportunity to get out of the position and bring his knee back in. He's hugging around the head and arm of Tarik and just slides his knee into the knee on belly position. I think this is a submission only competition, but had this been IBJJF or a point-based system, all he needs to do now is post his right leg out as kind of like a kickstand, and then he'll score the 2 points. Easiest 2 points to score in jiu-jitsu, in my opinion. So you can see Dalpra grinding into the face of Tarik. Tarik is able to kind of get his frames back in front of him, but Dalpra's keeping that knee on belly pressure, hops right over to mount, and now it's basically a passing clinic. So what we're going to see now is the ref is going to set them right back in the middle, right into the mount position, which is, being on the bottom of mount for Dalpra, being in any position with Dalpra on top or bottom. I mean, that dude is just amazingly good from all angles. But this is going to be a hard uphill battle for Tarik. Now, they have fought quite a few times, and Dalpra's taken the win, I think, every single time. There's just levels to the black belt. Tarik got his black belt not too long ago, so he's still, in my opinion, still a rookie black belt. And Dalpra's just been a black belt for way longer and just has more competition experience and everything like that. So you can see that here Tariq is going to get into a really weird position, and this position is actually going to kind of give Dalpra a little bit of trouble. This is the reverse close guard position. If you've ever watched the A block, how he gets into the reverse close guard and starts attacking the foot, this is kind of like that same position, just gi. You can see that, like, obviously he's locking his guard back here, but he's kind of inverted into this type of position here. Now, what he's doing is he's trying to pull Dalpra's leg towards him to kind of expose the ankle and the foot here. But what Dalpra is going to do is he's just going to use mad pressure on Tariq and kind of stop this position. Again, I haven't been into this reverse close guard. I haven't dived into it too much, but this position is very difficult to kind of deal with if you don't know what you're doing. But Dalpra is just going to put the pressure on and kind of work his way out of it. The problem with this position, I think, especially in the gi, because there's so much more friction, is that Dalpra can put a lot of pressure onto the hips of Tariq and smash the hips downward. Okay, so you can see right about here, let's go ahead and pause it. Right about here, you can see that Dalpra is just going to start putting downward pressure, a whole bunch of downward pressure with his chest and his hips on top of the hip of Tariq, which is right here. That's going to smash everything down and keep Tariq kind of flattened and pinned in this position where Tariq is still fighting for this leg. So Dalpra makes a grip on the pants and the end of the skirt here, and he's basically just trying to make sure that he doesn't get elevated, keeping his pressure nice and heavy. And eventually Tariq is going to have to go for something else. You can see Dalpra's having a little bit of trouble here. I don't know if he's experienced this position too often, this reverse close guard position, but I mean, he still has an answer for it. I mean, these are world-class black belts, both of them. So I'm sure even though he might not have experienced this position too often in the gym, he still has an answer for it. So right here is where he starts to put the pressure, realizes that he's off of balance, and he resets. And that's another thing that good guard passers do. I say this a lot in my videos. Good guard passers, they reset the position once they feel that they're not in the correct position or they're off balance or out of balance. They immediately reset and try again. Like, Dalpra's in no rush here to do anything, and he doesn't really need to do much. And right here is where he gets out of the position. Let's go ahead and pause that and go back really quickly to see how he got out of this position and back into the leg drag. So right about here is where, again, he's putting heavy pressure down onto the hips of Tariq. Now his legs are pretty much flat. So what Dalpra is going to do now is he's just going to, once the lock is open, and this is the problem with this position, once the lock is open, you can see that Tariq is completely out of position. His leg is here, his leg is here, the guard is completely open on both ends here, and Dalpra has clear and unadulterated access to the back here. So once the legs are clear, this is the problem with this when you just like single focusly attack the legs. Once it's clear, Dalpra has free reign to the back, and he can start setting up his leg dragging position. So you can see here, he immediately gets into the leg dragging position, brings his left leg through, and staples his right leg here. Tariq is still holding on to the lapel here, giving him some semblance of a guard position, but you can see his body is completely out of position here. Now Dalpra is trying to deal with that lapel, trying to get around for the complete leg drag, and he just yanks that lapel out, and once he does that, now he forces the leg of Tariq over, and then he passes back through the guard. This is awesome guard passing, guys. Let's go back really quick here. So you can see once he clears that lapel, he forces the leg of Tariq to go all the way to the far side. And once he does that, he pretty much can pass right through the center. And this is why I started playing with these pant grips on the far side to control people's far side legs after watching Dalpra do this so many times. So right here, Tariq tries to set something up, but you can see his guard is wide open. His leg is completely up and open on this side. It's open on this side. You can't really see it from this angle, but it's open on that side. And what Dalpra is going to do is, instead of trying to go, let's delete that first. Instead of trying to go through the guard this way, what he's going to do is just circle back around towards the head through the guard that way and passes the guard. And now he can start setting up this north-south Kimura position. So again, Tariq is famous for the Tariq Plata, which is basically a Kimura with your legs instead of your arms. So Dalpra is trying to, he's just trying to put on a lot of pressure, but what you're going to see later in the video is that he's going to try to submit him with the Tariq Plata. Now, I was debating if that was disrespectful to like use the move that you're named after, that you named, to be submitted by that move by somebody. A lot of people think that that's like, oh, that's the ultimate form of like disrespect. Don't get tapped by the move you created. But I think that's a form of like, he respects it. Like if your move is that good that it submits a lot of people and you've got it named after you, I wouldn't be, upset if I got submitted by a move that I came up with that, world-class people are using to submit other people. My name is still on it. I've got a move named after me in jiu-jitsu, which is pretty hard to do these days because there's a lot of positions that have already been explored, already been claimed. There's not too many more. There's not too many more ways the human body can move, at least that I'm aware of. So having a move named after you and having that cemented as your legacy is pretty awesome. And then to be submitted by it, I don't think that's a huge deal. That's just my opinion. So we see Dalpra is now going for this Kimura position. And what I thought he was going to do, because he's so gifted when it comes to arm bars, being a student of Rafa Mendes and Guy Mendes, I thought he was trying to go for switch from a Kimura, north-south Kimura, to the armbar position. But what he's trying to do is get the Tariq Plata. So you can see that the leg comes over right here. And, the crowd is like, this guy over here is like, oh, no, he's about to get submitted. So I guess I can kind of see how people can think that that's like, oh, man, you're about to get submitted. Look at all these people smiling. Look at this dude over here. Look at this dude over here. This dude over here. This dude's like, oh, shit. There's so many people that are just like, oh, man, he's about to submit him. And this is pretty locked in here. So he's got his arm through, gripping his thigh over here, and his leg has come through. And basically, the way you finish this position, for those who don't know, is once you separate. I can't see how Tariq is gripping, but I'm sure he's gripping his skirt or his lapel or his belt. Once you're able to lock this position up, you're going to scoot forward until the arm comes free, and then you're going to corkscrew, either fast or slow, depending on how brutal you want to be, corkscrew through, and that's going to put major torque and pressure onto the shoulder. But obviously, Tariq is this is his namesake move, so Tariq immediately gets flat on his back, and this is not going to get submitted by his own move. And now he starts setting up a guard position, but Dalpra is going to immediately start passing this once again. So he's got a nice grip on the pants, on the leg here, on Tariq's right leg. Tariq is trying to play a lapel position. And I think playing a lapel position on a guard passer is very good because it slows them down. They have to now deal with the lapel, but Tariq was not able to set it up. And Dalpra is just going to sprawl, pinning Tariq's left arm and trying to get that arm again to go for the same move. So you see he steps up once again for this north-south Kimura. Now everyone kind of knows what he's going for here. So he immediately starts trying to get the Kimura position, but he's not trying to finish the Kimura here. He's just trying to hold it until he can lift Tariq up and throw his leg over to get the Tariq Plata. So I think he's really trying to get that move and kind of cement that he submitted the creator of the move with his own move. So you can see he's taking his time. Obviously, Dalpra can finish this any way he pretty much wants. He's been in this position so many times and usually finishes it with an armbar position. But you can see he's trying to lock that up and pull the arm and get it away. But Tariq is going to tap to the Kimura, north-south Kimura, before Dalpra is able to get the Tariq. So good on him, but you know what he was trying to go for. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. It truly means more than you know. I've got some more AJP Dallas Open videos to upload. I'm trying to get some good quality videos from there. We've got the crown coming in November, so we've got a ton of jiu-jitsu to break down and plenty of time to do it. So thank you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.